all of the things that I've done in my life have been really a sort of snap moment decision, from deciding to go to university as a mature student and take my English A-level to deciding to start the campaign taking on the Bank of England. They've all just been things that I haven't really thought about. So I was never really someone who sort of planned out my future. But I have been thinking about it recently as a result of thinking about feminism and how women, I think, struggle to admit to themselves perhaps, or acknowledge certain things that they want, because I think traditional roots, or certainly for me, felt very intimidating. And I've only just really acknowledged to myself that I want to be a writer, and that's always been bubbling under the surface. I've always loved writing, but I never really admitted it to myself because I just felt that there was no way I could do it. I couldn't put myself forward in that way, and I would just be rejected, and people would tell me I wasn't any good, and I didn't really want to deal with the rejection, so it was better just not to even try. And I think actually, although this is a slight tangent, I think that that's really what's so amazing about the internet, is that it provides women with a route into whatever they want to do, and it gives them a voice, and they don't need anyone to give them permission for that. And I think that, you know, that sort of ties into me not wanting to admit what I wanted to do as a child, because and now I can admit it because I've been, you know, shown this open door where all of a sudden anything's possible. We live in an incredibly unequal society, and obviously not just from a gender perspective. I'm just incredibly passionate about changing that, because it's just completely unfair that where you're born, what gender you're born as, what ethnicity, what class, all these things massively dictate what you can achieve, who you can be, and not just that, what you can dream of being, what is even within the parameters of your imagination to be able to become. And that's just wrong, whatever way you look at it. What I really want to try and do is find really, really practical solutions that can really start changing things. So I'm really interested in looking at things like processes, like hiring processes or processes for decision making, and seeing how those are made and to what extent those are contributing to this kind of culture. Yeah, and I mean, you say both inside and outside of work. I mean, my work is my life. I never really switch off, and I'm always thinking about it. So, you know, yeah, I'm very, very boring, basically. My whole life is just spent banging on about various injustices. My poor boyfriend. My biggest challenge and my ongoing challenge is trying to stop that little voice in my head that tells me that I'm completely useless and that everyone's just going to laugh at me, and that, you know, I therefore shouldn't bother trying to do anything, and I shouldn't try and lead the life that I want to lead. I think one of the most annoying things about being a woman, well, there are many things that are annoying about being a woman, but for me personally, the thing that most irritates me is the way that women are expected to look a certain way, and the way that women are criticised if they deviate from this very, very narrow parameter of what is considered to be acceptable or beautiful. That's just really sad, and I think so many women struggle with this, even though we know, well, certainly feminists who analyse these kind of structures, you know, I can say to myself that this is just because of the way the world's set up, and it's intended to make me feel bad about myself, and it's about wanting to make me buy certain products. And so, you know, you do try to not give in to it. And then the other irritating thing, of course, is then you start castigating yourself for giving into it. So you're sort of pummeling yourself from both angles, both for thinking you look terrible and for the fact that you think that. And so you have this sort of battle going on in your head, and that really gets in the way of, yeah, doing the things that you really actually want to do. My puppy makes me very happy. My puppy Poppy, who I just love fiercely and is perfect. It's very difficult to talk about Poppy, why she's so amazing, but she is. And I think that's one of the things that really just makes me incredibly happy. And I suppose the other thing that makes me really happy is, well, you know, all the normal things like family and friends, but also being able to lead a life that has meaning, and that you feel that when you're working, your work is not just about making money, it's about changing the world. And I've been so unhappy working before I went to university, because while I really loved the people I worked with, the work that I was doing wasn't fulfilling at all for me. And so in a way I'm really glad I've had that experience, because it means that now I can really, really appreciate the ability to do work that will be hopefully changing the world to be the world that I want to live in. Well, when I literally look in the mirror, I see someone who needs to lose a few pounds. But I suppose if I were to look in a sort of metaphorical mirror, I would see someone who is on a journey, who is trying to find a way to accept that she's not worthless and that there is a reason why she feels like that, and who is on a journey to try and help other people to believe in themselves and be able to achieve whatever it is that they want to achieve.